our guest today is someone who has many facets to them, and I can't wait for us to meet him. Ross Garcia. He's a big believer in the law of attraction, and it's served him so well in life. He writes, lectures, consults, and runs several businesses. His mortgage restructuring business, consulting, cryptolifeschool.com, and Wealth Mindset Group, among many other things. He is someone who has an endless appetite to learn and absorb knowledge, and I just can't wait to pick his brain and for everyone to meet him. So, without further ado, welcome, Ross. How are
Hi
you?
everyone. How are you guys?
We're doing so well and so excited for your book because I know it's not your first rodeo, and I love how you have such a wide variety of things that you do.
Yeah,
A lot of things, right? Because a lot of the times
right.
you ask yourselves, what is my purpose? What is the one thing I need to do? And you somehow manage to do many things very well. And I wanted to share and start our interview with a quote from your website. And it's actually from Napoleon Hill. And you said, it's a quote that inspired you. And you said like this: Hill has said to find something you're good at and get better at it. And I just wanted to basically ask you and tease out of you, can you talk us through this concept? And how did you even manage to organize what to do first in your life and where to start? Because obviously you can't do everything at once, but it'll start somewhere.
I think everyone has desires. Everyone wants to do something in life, and sometimes people don't have direction. As I began my writing journey, I started looking back, and then I realized like I always had like a mentor. I always had someone that was guiding me on a subconscious level. I didn't realize it, but they were sitting there telling me, "Hey, you know, you could get good in sales, selling cell phones." And that was like my first mentor, Mike Evans, when I worked at Circuit City back in 2001. That was like when cell phones didn't even have internet. Um, so I think it's important to find some type of direction and to really sit down and think and analyze the thoughts that you're having throughout the day and to write down, to take notes on those ideas, those plans that you have, and to take action without thinking about the how it's going to happen or what if it doesn't work. And I think that's what holds a lot of people back.
Yeah, the overthinking parts and the what ifs. That is so true.
Having some type of guidance, having a mentor is having someone that believes in you when you don't believe in you. There's a story when I was in New York, never been to New York, and I was sitting at Carnegie Hall listening to my mentor, Bob Proctor, talking about the story of how Napoleon Hill met Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie saw something in Napoleon that Napoleon didn't even see in himself. Hill was a broke newspaper reporter that went out to interview the richest person in the world at that time, and he believed in Napoleon Hill and he totally changed his life. If it wasn't for Andrew Carnegie mentoring, guiding Napoleon Hill in writing about the laws of success, I wouldn't be here right now, like having this conversation with you, you know?
Would you say part of it is just to be open to find a mentor? Because it sounds like your first mentor was not the traditional, I'm going to go out there and search the internet and find a mentor and there will be it. It comes naturally within your circle of folks that you have in your life. Everyone can take on that role if you're kind of willing to. Is that sort of
Right.
the right way for me to kind of interpret?
Right. And especially now with YouTube, like when I started listening to Napoleon Hill back in 2010, Napoleon Hill already had passed away. Um, I reached out to him like with my mind saying, thank you for helping me, even though he's not here, right? And that's something Napoleon Hill talks about. He talks about talking to Abraham Lincoln, talking to Thomas Edison, talking to people that passed away, which is totally illogical to have a conversation with someone that's not here. But if you don't have a mentor, you can find someone that you can connect with on YouTube. And that's what I did in 2010. And it just it it takes time to develop your self-confidence, um, your self-image to create this person that is locked up inside of you. Because we all have that ability. We all have like a Mona Lisa that we have inside of us. But the key is in personal growth and development is to break that wall that, hey, I'm not good at talking in public. Okay, then get on a microphone, you know? I'm not good at creating a company or creating a website. Okay, well, start asking around. And the things that you're entertaining throughout the day will show up in your life. So if you're entertaining good ideas and the, I guess, the outcome of you being this person, or if you're entertaining bad ideas and the outcome of you not being this person, that you're a failure, then you get what you think about. And a lot of people, when they start their day, just today, I went to the bank and I was driving, and it was unbelievable the amount of angry faces that are out on the road because people are programmed. And we're programmed to say, well, um, the economy is not looking good. And then you start your day in a bad mood. And just being in that type of vibration, driving around, seeing people like that, beeping their horn, get off the road, watch out with the bike. It affects you. But you have to come from the spirit of like understanding of, hey, you know what? This is just something that I'm seeing. But even though the outside world is like that, the inside world is I'm grateful, I'm happy, things are working out, I'm blessed, I'm thankful for my family and friends, I'm thankful for the holidays, I'm thankful for being alive, I'm thankful for my health, and then you just carry your life like that.
That's a great answer to that question.
Yeah, because you can't let the outside world affect you, and that's the name of the game. That's the key there is the outside world doesn't exist. When you get to that point, and I'm not saying jump out of a window, I'm not saying, to not be a productive member of society, but what I'm saying is that it's it's the outside world that shapes you, and your belief system is based on that outside world. So if you can change your belief system and start thinking open-minded, like what if I created this? What if I was good at doing this? And then actually writing it down, which is like psychology 101. It's kind of like you're talking to a psychologist and you're hypnotizing yourself that, hey, you know what? This is me. This is who I am. Um, and it's not easy in the beginning to change a program, to change a paradigm, a set of belief systems because we all believe in things. But the more that you keep studying personal growth and development, the more that you listen to me or Napoleon Hill or Bob Proctor, then everything's going to change.
That's very true. And to bring it back, because you're going to have a new book coming out soon, is that some of the things that we can expect that you have sprinkled in there? Some of these amazing tips you just shared.
Yeah, the secret behind the secret is basically the inner workings of your thoughts and how your thoughts create your reality. And this has to do with happy, healthy, and wealthy, and having peace in your life. A lot of people, they don't have peace. Uh, so it's like when you die, it says rest in peace, but why do you rest in peace after you die? You should have the peace now, right? So we have to live in peace. So how do you live in peace? Well, you forgive people that might have hurt you. Family members, especially at around this time, maybe your brother and sister upset you. So you have to reach out to them and be the better person and say, hey, look, sorry about last year. or sorry about what I said in front of mom and dad. So those are the type of things that we need to work on to go to the next level because our vibration is part of that higher faculty, the higher faculties that connect us with the inner workings of that curtain. What's behind that curtain? What's the secret behind the secret? Well, the secret behind the secret, one of the secret is what type of vibration are you in? How do you feel? Because if you're not feeling right, you're not going to attract the things that you want.
Behind the Secret is your third book. Can you talk to us a bit about your author journey? How did you come to write your latest book?
I was sitting thinking about how I could get across information to someone that might have an idea how the law of attraction works or personal growth and development and is curious to know more about it, the inner workings. I always say that your conscious mind is like a seed and your subconscious mind is like the dirt. And when you plant a seed in the dirt and you give it water with persistence and with your belief system and with auto-suggestion, right? Saying the same thing over and over again. And it may sound ridiculous, but if you keep doing that, that seed will become a tree. It will become into whatever idea, whatever desire you have. So that journey for me, it began like that. It began with, you know, I never wrote a book, but listening to Bob Proctor talk about writing 1 page a day, and at the end of the year, you're gonna have a book. And I did that. It took me time. I made a lot of errors, and then I connected with the right people, and now we're on the third book. And this is going back from 2018 when I had the idea of the first book, The Profit Express, and then, you know, talking on my phone, taking notes, putting things together, making sense out of my life and, you know, how I used to sell cell phones, how I went through a military program, and a driving drunk accident that it changed my life. So in a way, that was a good thing that happened to me because I took my life more serious because up to that point, I did everything they told me to. I went to school, I got a degree in finance, and I was always broke. And I was trying to figure out what was wrong with my life. And then after that military program, I said, I have to connect with someone that has results. And I found Napoleon Hill. Then after that, I saw Bob Proctor. And then from that point on, I was listening to both of them. And that's what changed my life. And that's what got me into writing books to inspire other people.
I love that you share that story because it's not all, rose-colored lenses and everything is beautiful. It's still work. And one of the things I was curious about is that as we all go through those mindset shifts and through those rewiring of what we truly believe, what do you feel, either from your experience or what you see with your client, is the hardest one to just get over or shift or accept that it's not true in terms of moving on with life, creating wealth where there was none before, creating a life of your dreams, essentially?
Right. I think the hard part is, I come from the south side of Chicago, so it was really hard in high school. I remember a girl getting shot in front of our school, and my parents, they were really worried about me, and they sent me away to Houston, Texas, so I could finish high school. So it wasn't easy for me, and talking to people that they don't study personal growth and development, um, they don't have a company, they haven't traveled, so it's fear, right? Fear and faith, they require us to see something that isn't here. It's in your mind. But when you break free from that fear and you just jump on a plane, and I remember I've never been through the Atlantic. I ended up in UK back in 2020, made more money during the coronavirus than my whole entire life, um, would life still be the same? No. Would you be able to connect people from high school? No. Um, so it's just the change has been so like surreal that having a conversation with my friends is very difficult. Um, you know, they just wonder how it would be, but they didn't experience what I went through. They didn't experience like the rise and fall because I've made a couple million and I've also closed the company down during the process. But I came out of that situation understanding that when you really believe it, when you really believe that you could be successful or that you can make over $50 million, it's against all odds. It's like you really believe it. And when you have that ace uh, underneath your sleeve, and it's like, I have it, it just changes everything. Like, it's just it's crazy to think about quantum physics and how you can open a door that you thought was impossible. And then once you open it, it's like people think that you're lying. Like I had a friend tell me, hey, you know that villa you live in Spain, that villa's a Airbnb, isn't it? And that was last year, right? So then I post another video and it's like, hey, that villa is really his, isn't it? And it's like, yeah. Uh, but he's still stuck working till he's 65. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But do you want to travel more? Yes, study the law of attraction. Do you want to have a better relationship with your significant other? Yes, study the law of attraction. Personal growth and development. That's what it's about. It's about hypnotizing yourself, not someone else putting some idea into your head. It's about you hypnotizing yourself to creating the lifestyle that you want for yourself, whether it's more money or another job or another business, traveling more. But it's about hypnotizing yourself because up to this point, you didn't realize that power of auto suggestion could literally change your life.
It's very big what you shared. 'Cause it's almost like that's the way through those fears that you're speaking about that just keeps everyone paralyzed.
Yeah. And going back to one of the stories in The Secret Behind the Secret, one of my friends, he said, look, Ross, stop talking about flying cars. Maybe there'll be flying cars like in 50 years from now. Um, but this stuff to my girlfriend, it doesn't make sense to her. She probably heard of Bob Proctor, Napoleon Hill, but this stuff doesn't really make sense to her, you know. And then like a couple years later, she came to my villa with him, and this was like a year and 7 months later, and they're like, "Man, whatever you were involved in, we should have got involved with you." Why? Because we're programmed to see things in the outside world and then we're programmed negatively and environmentally from the get-go as soon as we're born. Bob Proctor used to say that all the time. We're programmed negatively, environmentally by what we seen, smell, taste, hear, and touch. But we have the higher faculties. We have our imagination, concentration, reasoning, intuition, memory, and perception. And those higher faculties, they distinguish us from a dog. A dog doesn't have a self-image. We do. And we've created a self-image of, I can't. That's the second book. I can't doesn't exist, right? So every book that I write, I try to make it catchy to explain to you the law of attraction. When people say, well, yeah, there's a secret. Yeah, well, there is a secret, but there's a secret behind the secret. And if you understand how the recipe or how the higher faculties work, you can, just like a magnet, you can pull that image, that movie, a movie of you being this person or you doing a quantum leap or if you're scared to travel, just buy the ticket. You'll thank me later. Just get out of your comfort zone. I remember during the coronavirus, I'm wiping down the door at the house, thinking that I would get the virus. I ended up getting the coronavirus, and it wasn't that bad. But in the first part of being in front of the TV all day, not being able to go outside, and we don't get out of the comfort zone and we stay stuck. So personal growth development, books like this, they help you get unstuck.
We once were on a call, and I remember you talking about the importance of dreaming, the tug of war between dreaming and putting into action. Can you share more about the benefits of dreaming, and then maybe a bit more about your process of bringing that dream down to earth?
Writing down your dream, or before you have a desire, you have this idea of creating something, right? So what you want to do is you want to have a goal card and you want to write down your desire. Um, there's a window of opportunity. They say that before you go to sleep, you want to send that image to your subconscious mind. So you do that before you go to sleep, and you do that when you wake up in the morning. Um, you write down the same thing over and over again. It's a lie because it hasn't happened, right? And there goes the saying, fake it till you make it. So you want to fake it till you make it. You want to act as if you already have it. And that's how you make your dreams reality. You make your dreams reality by writing it down over and over and over, and using that higher faculty to see yourself living out that desire.
I love that you said that because to a lot of people, and even myself, I remember when I first got into the world of self-development, I would think, oh, I'm writing the same thing in my journal every day. Like this is useless. I don't
Hmm.
have anything new. Like I feel like I have to come up with something new to write. Meanwhile, all this time, it's what you said. It's just write it over and over again. It doesn't matter if it's
Yeah,
the same thing for months on end at the end of the day.
yeah. And I thought I had it wrong, but that's the key is like keep writing it. And that's why I talk about the vibration, the feeling, because people they get frustrated because they're like, it hasn't came to me. I've been writing this stuff down. But the key is not just like writing, is also action. Like, what are you doing? Are you connecting with people in your field? So if you're a musician or an artist, are you connecting with a producer? Are you connecting with so but people they get held back because they're like, well, I don't know anyone. Go out, network, you know? Um, but the moment you write it is like you put that magic um to work for you. And so this energy is unseen and it's all around us. It starts pulling in energy of a like nature. And this stuff is like, it's like the air, there is no picture for the air. It's, you can't see it. You can feel it, but you can't see it, right? There was a photographer, Sir Samian Kearney. He perfected a form of photography in 1930s where you could take a picture and you could actually see the energy leaving someone's body. This energy has, and I'm sure you probably heard of it, different like color tones according to if you're in a happy mood, in a bad mood, right? Uh, so you got to control that. You got to control the energy and make it work for you, not against you.
Mm, I love that. So that's a little bit about when you have a dream, what you should do. And with the flip side of it, for those that have gone through maybe a devastating financial loss or a career change, maybe they were laid off and whatnot, or they're coming to some sort of difficulty in that sense. In your experience, does the same advice hold true, or should they do something slightly different when you're in that situation?
Well, I always say that the bigger the failure, the bigger or the closer you are to getting to where you want to be. Um, it's like the tide. When you're there, it's coming to you. And it's like at one point you're gonna work with it, not against it. So when you flow, when you're like flowing with yourself, with the thought of you being a creator. In the beginning, you're gonna feel like I'm wasting my time. It's like going to the gym. You're not gonna get results the first year. You might get results in 3 years. But like for me, it's like, well, I'm going on 42 at the end of this month, and where would I be? I would probably still be stuck in college trying to get a master's degree to get a job as a regional vice president for a bank, because I got a degree in finance. And then I went to DePaul University, and I had like another 8 months left to finish my bachelor's degree. But then I would keep going to school because logically we're programmed to work hard and to try to get to the next level by putting harder work, right? But then there's people that don't work, like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, and they're creating companies all day, making money while they sleep. So we have it all backwards. Um, and like I said, this is just my story. Everyone has a story. Everyone tried to do what I'm doing on a logical approach. What we're teaching you is how to do it on an illogical approach. How to how to learn to walk backwards, not forwards. Because obviously walking forwards didn't work. And that's why you're not getting where you want to be. Okay, well, now we got to train how to walk backwards now. And then walking backwards, you're going to get more results than walking forwards, which I know sounds illogical because you're supposed to walk forwards. And and that's what they taught us in the military program I was in, was like, first we're going to break you and then we're going to make you. So all the things that you thought were not possible are possible. I was never good at running. Being in that military program, I started running miles and miles and miles. I was like, man, this is crazy. Like, I didn't realize I could do 500 push-ups in one day. But we're capable to do a lot of things, but it's our thinking that stops us. And when we control our thinking, we go through that quantum level, that level that could totally change your perspective and your life.
Hearing you speak almost reminds me about something you said earlier about how fear is often what holds us back, but what we are not very good at doing intuitively, what perhaps we're not taught from a young age or whatnot, is to make the switch to faith. And what you just described to me, the walking backwards, that's like you have to have a lot of faith.
Yeah,
At the very least, a letting go of expectations to and faith that it'll work out in the
right.
way to.
You can have a positive and a negative thought at the same time. You have to have either a positive, because that's the polarity. Everything has polarity. That's another law, universal law. So we have transmutation of energy. Energy just is. It's neither created nor destroyed. It's 100% evenly present in all places at all times. Then we have vibration. The law of attraction comes from the law of vibration. It's a secondary law. You cannot attract something that you're not in harmonious vibration with. And then we have the law of polarity. So the law of polarity is sun, moon, dark, day, man, woman, right? And then we have positive and negative thoughts. But energy has no polarity. Energy doesn't know the difference between a positive or a negative thought. It gives you what you're thinking about most of the time throughout the day. So if you're thinking about a red Honda Civic and you keep thinking about a red Honda Civic, within 5 to 20 minutes from now, you're going to see a red Honda Civic. Well, the same way that you can see a red Honda Civic, you can see yourself reaching the finish line in whatever it is that you want, right? And the moment that you think it's already yours, because you can't have a movie without the projector. So you're the movie or the projector, whichever one you want to be. But the point is that there's an outside world and there's an inner world. But the inner world is just as important as the outside world. And we have to balance them because people are too busy looking at the gold watch. They're too busy looking at the mansion. They're too busy looking at Hollywood celebrities, but they're not busy analyzing where they're at. And the moment that we start taking notes about what triggers us, what makes us happy, what type of sports do we like to do, what type of activities that do we like to do, because it's about what you like. And as long as you can stay there in what you like, then everything in the outside world is going to change because of the vibration, right? So vibration is you got vibration is a secondary law. The law of attraction comes from the law of vibration. You cannot attract something that you're not in harmonious vibration with, a frequency. So if you want this type of lifestyle, if you want this desire, then you have to match it with the frequency, with the vibration that you're in.
That's very well said.
Yeah. And
Totally.
you jump from one to another, like you know that everything is energy, then you know that things are vibration, you know that you are polarity, and you know that you think positive and negative. So control the polarity, control the outcome, right? You change the outside world by changing your thoughts. And then you get so good at it, like me, that you just start writing books about the secret behind the secret. You start writing books about I can't doesn't exist because they said you can't, and you're like, wait, who said you can't? Like,
That's what I was gonna say, that I'm pretty sure you wrote down in the book, or at least in one of the three books, exactly what you talked about, because that's so special to just be able to have and reference, especially as you're building the muscle of constantly thinking about it in that way and doing it, more importantly.
right,
Sure, it's not something that comes natural like that.
right.
It's a muscle you build.
It's a it, it's kind of like playing the dark game is hit or miss, and then you kind of understand how the game works, and you're like, okay, this has to do with being patient, keep studying, keep believing, don't listen to anyone, don't listen to people that don't have the results. Like, why would you listen to someone that doesn't have the results? Like the point of the mentor is the mentor not only does he see something in you, but he also has the results. He also is someone that you admire and that you look up to, and you're like, man, I want to be like him. And that's the point.
Who would benefit most from picking up this book?
People that want to study personal growth and development, that have an idea how the law of attraction works, but they don't know. It's like the car being built. It's like you get to see the parts, right? And in order for you to believe in something and to dedicate time to it, first you have to believe in the person that's writing the book, and he has to be like an example that this is possible, and I fit the criteria because I was always broke. And then it's like I retired, even though I'm not retired because I'm doing what I love. But someone that would benefit from the book is someone that wants to grow, someone that has a desire. It doesn't matter what age you are, if you're a man or a woman. It's the point is I want to break free. I want more out of life. I want to multiply myself. I want to become 3, 5 people within me and make the amount of money that those 3, 5 people are making. And you can do that.
I love the way you describe that. So, could you give us an idea of when we can expect the secret behind it, the secret book, to be released?
I would say April 2025, around that time.
Fabulous. So we'll keep an eye, and I'm sure you'll let everybody know when we're ready to go
Yeah.
explore it and buy it for ourselves and treasure it. And with that in mind, where could people find you? Like, where do you hang out online?
You can find me on Instagram, Ross Garcia 1, ROSS Garcia 1, ONE, on Instagram. You can go to my website, rossgarciaauthor.com. You could also go to Crypto Life School if you want to create another source of income for yourself and you want to study cryptocurrency and understand how blockchain technology works. You can go to cryptolifeschool.com. But if, like I said, if you want to get into personal growth and development and get into the books, Ross Garcia Author LLC. I mean, Ross Garcia author.com. LLC is the company. But
And
it's
we'll,
rossgarciaauthor.com.
and we'll make sure we have the links somewhere
Yeah,
beside, left to the right, below type of thing.
right.
We'll have the correct links for you to.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And thank you guys for the interview and for your time.
Well, thank you for joining us, for sharing your wisdom, your thoughts, your brilliant mind with everyone. We look forward
And,
to reading the book.
and if anyone has any doubts on what I said, you could always Google it. And you could Google me too as well. I should be on the first page.
Now we're all gonna go check out the villa you were talking about in your
You're
earlier.
right. I just posted a video today of the jacuzzi on the second floor, overlooking the golf course because the palm trees are really nice. Which I'm also a member of the golf course. But I don't really play golf as much as I should, or I just feel like there's so much to do that I want to leave that for later in life.
There you go. Goes back to prioritizing like
Right.
what's now, what do I want to enjoy a little later, and kind of fitting them in your timeline.
Yeah. So
Well, thank you again for coming on.